In the year 1997, the future is in chaos and turmoil. Mankind is on the brink of extinction. Brave survivors band together and build a time displacement apparatus to receive a signal from a parallel future. This transmission is the Vunda.
There's one team that kicks ass. They're assembled. They're the Vundacast. Never back down from the brass. Always start first. Never finish last. Had a mic speed, bit too fast. Oh no, they're out of gas. It's okay there, just a podcast. They're the greatest. We're the Vundacast.
Welcome to the Vundacast, the official podcast of Vunda Halloween-a-thon. I am Steven, and today is drive-in day of Vunda Halloween-a-thon. I am joined by my lovely cohortress, Dani.
Hello.
How you doing? She would be the male girl if we had any male, but we have no male. So she just gets to be a girl. Congratulations.
Yay.
And hosting us here in the demonic dungeon of Vunda Halloween-a-thon is the 5-time champion of the world,
5 time.
the They of Days, D-Rock in the house,
Yo,
by God,
what up?
Madcap.
The headlight on God.
I was watching these old Ric Flair clips, and he used to, like, every time he'd see Mean Gene Okerlund on, every time Mean Gene Okerlund would interview him, he'd go, "Mean, woo, by God, Gene."
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna steal some of that sauce.
Yeah, good stuff.
Today, we are going to do a commentary track for the Shudder exclusive Mad God to celebrate Drive-In Day, one of the best recent episodes of I think it was from last season.
Yeah, I think it's this past season, yeah.
The
Definitely
last
one of my favorites.
the last Drive-In on Shudder and on AMC Plus is Mad God.
Mad God. The craziest movie.
This was D-Rock's pick for commentary for Vunda Halloween-a-thon this year.
I love it.
Let's start off like Joe Bob does, with Joe Bob himself giving us the drive-in totals.
Drive-in, the most insane drive-in totals ever. Check this out.
We have 138 dead bodies, 1 Tower of Babel destruction,
Oh my God.
Leviticus deity cursing, 2 eyeball close-ups, 1 giant cervix, 1 eye poked
One
out,
giant cervix, I gotta look out for that.
multiple
That's gonna get
space cannon violence, canyon of stone
by
idols,
YouTube.
calcified worms,
You
hell,
can say cervix.
Pond
Yes,
of
it is
radioactive waste, frozen stalactite people, legless mummy head crawling creature, groaning simian monster, twitching behemoth electrocution, blood
Whoa.
sucking, fluid sucking, organ sucking, deformed
So much
vicious
sucking.
salamander, masturbating parked roadside woman, creatures, skinny hypnotized undead machine people, skeletal creature chain gang getting Nazi-style brain injections, slave zombie altar building, electronic eye satellite, giant penis assembly line,
Giant
penis fire, predatory dinosaur weakling stomping, skeletal zombies, mutant animal electrocution, bullwhip wielding, Lash LaRue mutant
Oh my
slicing
God.
zombies in half, monster baby totalitarianism, one spaceship adventuring gas mask wearing assassin with a diving bell, audience participation surgery, bloody body slicing, chest cavity ripping with organ extraction, giant shovel creature brawling with boil-faced
God.
dwarf brain electrocution and aneurysm vomit,
Aneurysm vomit.
body
He was
part
like, I did not write this.
What the
This was
fuck?
not me.
laser blast
He was
war zone
totally
with
him.
mushroom cloud.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah,
totally
then
was.
why is he shaking his head like he's in shock?
Because he's
Because it's so
selling
insane.
himself.
baling wire humanoids.
Imagine
having
being
tea,
Phil Tippet, like, yeah, I dreamed all this.
Real porn, body part sleeping, baby eating,
For 30 years.
Yeah, for
ceremonial
30
baby sleeping with a giant waffle iron,
Oh my God.
microscopic virus made of glowing jelly, painful hand job on a minotaur.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember
Land of
a
Muslim
hand job.
temples, ruined deserts, steaming craters, baby guts, gold dust explosions,
Oh my
causing
God.
mountains to move, meteors to explode,
my
and flying
goodness.
saucers to take off over a deep inferno where amoebas and floating bubbles and pools of liquid and single-cell organisms and galaxies of stars and fetuses and golden bubbles cause giant skyscrapers to be quickly
didn't
built
want a
to
spoiler
radio
alert.
antennas on top of the tallest building. Graveyard skeletons run through sticks, weird birds in thunderstorms, zombie capping fluid creature, military wall battering, graffiti artist sniper fire, skeleton head debris rain, bubbles gurgling on the surface
Oh
of
my
the
God.
glass that may be the face of a
Good
fetus
Lord.
inside a test tube, causing clocks to run backward in a toy garden, followed by a cuckoo announcing the end of the world and the establishment of a new totalitarian cult. I think. Gnarled crone weaving,
It's
gratuitous
not over.
orchestral fanfare,
Still going.
random ruins, leg stump cleaver foo, parchment map foo, giant hacksaw foo, steamroller foo, primeval forest foo, intravenous foo, malpractice foo, Nosferatu
There's so much foo.
tarantula foo. Drive-In Academy Award nominations for Alex Cox as the man with insanely long fingernails and toenails
Yeah.
who reminds us that at least one human being is still alive, and Phil Tippet, the writer, director, and madman behind Mad God. 4 stars. Joe Bob says.
Check it out.
4 huge stars.
4 stars
Well,
out of 4. I love that he grades things out of 4 stars. Like, that's so old school.
well, the whole star rating system that's developed by Michelin was intended to rate if it was worth, if something was worth like driving to or getting to, as a way they they put out the Michelin guide as a restaurant guide so that people who got cars would drive to distant places to eat
To try the food.
to try the food. So if you got 3 stars, that meant you were worth driving to.
Mm-hmm.
2 stars meant that you could, if you were nearby, it was worth checking out.
Yeah.
And then 1 star meant it wasn't really
Not even, yeah.
worth the extra drive. But they were
4
just trying to get
stars is
people to
like-
drive recklessly.
Just like drive across the country.
Yeah. That's the way you
That's
sell
really
tires.
interesting.
You know, you
Yeah,
gotta use
right.
them. Gotta make sure they use the tires. So we're gonna start off, and we're doing the full Mad God 85 minutes. We're not doing the Joe Bob version because that would be
here all night.
too long and too crazy, and
I've
there's
already
so
seen
much
this.
to think about here.
I've already seen this movie too much in the last 6 months. I'm sorry. Once every year is enough.
Oh man, I could watch this
No, I'm good.
over and
I'm
over.
basically here against my will.
I could watch this
That's
forever and ever.
that's not true. Don't
Yes,
say that.
I'm here against my will.
Don't say
What
that.
else is
Like the creatures in the Hell universe.
That's just like Dani for every movie that she didn't pick. Like
That's false.
Yeah.
That is false.
Is it?
I
Is
was here voluntarily for Freddy versus Jason just because I find Jason annoying. Voluntarily.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
so we are going to start the movie in 3, 2, fun, boom. Mad God.
And here we go. Shudder original.
hopefully-
Shudder original, not just an exclusive.
Hopefully the internet doesn't make this difficult to do.
Oh, that's too loud.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sorry, everybody.
I
Can't
don't.
have copyright
Is
strikes.
the music their own music though?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the music is one of the coolest things about this.
And it
Movie,
was
I think.
his.
Because it's like
They
so.
didn't take like classical music and.
No, there's like, you know, like somber western sounding guitar music.
Yeah.
Remember, like there's all this.
That's
Oh my
true.
god, this subwoofer is still.
This is
Rock.
so cool. This looks like a classical painting starting to
Yeah.
come to life or
I know.
something, you know.
It is. I mean, it's definitely like mirroring like Middle Ages type of like craziness.
It kind of looks like the beginning of a Monty Python movie, but this
It does
movie
a
is
little bit.
not a Monty Python
No.
movie.
I mean,
I mean, in a way, if Monty
it's
Python...
not. It's kind of like a Terry Gilliam
Yeah.
animation
Yeah.
sequence for an hour and a half.
And here we got the title.
And 10 times
Mad
more
God.
insane.
I wonder how long it took him to come up with the title. If it took him all 30 years, or if he.
This is so
On
hard
day
to
one.
read, but I love it anyway.
If you disobey
It's
me
just
and
a
remain
Bible
hostile
verse.
to me, okay.
That's like God is a vengeful God, basically.
Okay.
I will destroy your cult places and cut down your incense stands. What the fuck?
Uh-huh. Your incense stands, baby.
See,
I will
That's-
heap your carcasses upon your lifeless
See,
idols.
That's the problem with the world today. Is all these people they like mean God. They like mean God stands.
Right, exactly.
When we need like nice God stands. Yeah.
Which I don't even understand, like, especially Christians, like, their God's supposed to be the nice one. But, like, they are way into the vengeful, angry God for some reason. And that's from Leviticus, too, so, like, the angriest God's probably ever been. No, that's probably not.
Is Leviticus a dude's name? Did Leviticus
Yes.
make him grumpy? Like, to piss off God enough, you get your own name in the Bible. That's pretty dope, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a win.
That's
Right?
the next level
Like-
infamy.
My hater immortalized me. Come on, motherfucker.
Of course, it might not be God. It might just be like some guy who was like writing down
Yeah.
the Bible and was like, "Fuck that Leviticus, dude."
I need a villain. Whoa. This immediately makes me think of like the Holocaust, like
Yeah.
walls and
A lot
things
about
and
this
stuff.
is.
Yeah.
I think
very-
there's a lot of, like, imagery of, like, the worst of humanity's crimes against each other kind of mushed into this storytelling.
I've always kind of seen this as like this movie as sort of like an allegory of like a very expressionistic allegory of like capitalism. Just like how it feels to be stuck in the gears of this machine that just will like grind up anybody who steps out of line slightly, and fucking you could just die just by like walking around outside or whatever. Like,
I mean, and the thing is that Phil, like, he doesn't want to be too, like,
no, yeah.
clean on it. Like, he doesn't want to tell you.
Oh
how
yeah,
to
the whole
feel
time with
about
Joe
it.
Bob kept asking him all these
Yeah.
questions, and he was like,
Nah,
maybe.
maybe.
I don't remember actually.
I could see that.
And he just talked about like he had these dreams. I don't know how long he was having these dreams. Like it was for like a couple years.
30. Well, he made this movie over 30 years.
Well,
Yeah,
he made the
but the
movie over but the
dreams were, like,
dreams
a
I
few
think were like a
years of-
couple
yeah.
of years, like every night though.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I would just like go insane if I was having these dreams every single night. I guess at some point you get used to it, right? You're like, oh yeah, the Mad God dreams.
I have fucking freaky ass dreams all the time. You just
Well,
sort
yeah,
of, like,
you do.
They don't feel like they feel kind of real, but like not. I don't know. It's kind of like it. You know, they're there, but they may not feel like emotional. Like it's complicated. Like it's mostly just like you can
Yeah.
kind of like watch them like you're watching a really weird movie that you just so happen to think of.
I love this shot too, like giving you like the insane scale of this world. Like
Which makes sense.
it's
Like
so much world building in like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or however long it lasts.
and that makes sense when he talks about like dreams being inspiration for this, because that's when I first watching
God.
this,
Yeah.
I was like, this is just a series of nightmares that this man
Yeah.
had, like that he's putting,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, yeah.
and that was what was most commendable to me is the ability for him to transcribe that, because I struggle with transcribing my dreams and like my freakiest, craziest dreams. And like it's hard, and that's why it took him 30 years, because it's hard.
It does feel.
to do this.
It does feel like as accurate as a like portrayal of dreams and nightmares
Yeah.
as I've ever seen.
Especially
put to film.
what I'll say for me as someone who has really strange, abstract, crazy dreams, the sense of space, the cavernousness of it, that happens a lot in like scary dreams. There's a lot of like
Big
ideas
huge-
of like dark caverns and big huge spaces that keep going down, or like strange, like especially the things with like strange like little tendrily things, like it's almost like, is it like, are you like literally like seeing your neurons in your brain sort of flailing around? Like we have no idea. But yeah, like that's what I really like about the visual aspect of it, is that he captures that sort of strangeness of the most abstract stuff.
I mean, and like there's like 7 or 8 different levels that he goes past. Like it's so. That's the thing. That's the reason probably that this is one of my favorite movies. Is it's just there's like. I've never seen so much imagination in one movie, and I just love movies that like I think I was talking about this the other day, like I love movies that are like, the word I always use is juicy. Like there's so much like meat hanging off the bones of this movie. Like there's so much to digest, there's so much to process. There's so much amazing imagery and cool shit. Yeah, like I just eat that up. Like that's like my favorite thing, is just like being awash in creativity and imagination.
So the other thing that this movie makes me think of, other than the Holocaust, is obviously Dante's Inferno.
Right.
And going through like these layers of hell.
I think that's actually like intentional.
Different punishments. And in the actual Dante's Inferno, there was the different levels were like different classes of people in the social class structure, and it was sort of like an inversion of how these people who have high status in society in hell, they're also high status, but in the worst way.
The lowest
possible.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely get that with like some of the medical horror in this movie. Feels like.
I mean, there's definitely like class structures to this. It's not. It's probably like the inverse of like the Dante's Hell, where like the most, you know,
that's kind of
marginalized people are at the bottom.
What's kind of interesting to me is, I don't know, because it's like there's a part of me that like wants to make sense out of the chaos, and like you can definitely see moments in the movie where it's like, okay, you see the sort of structure of the thing happening, but like what's more sort of disturbing maybe is the fact that just when you kind of, if you try to hold on to any sort of actual organization in this place, and then it just goes to chaos. It's like, it always just kind of seems like there's just sort of chaos, and then everyone just keeps going, which I think fits more in the sort of like the capitalist thing, because people sort of like always think that capitalism is so well oiled. It's not. It's really a lot of fucked up things that have been built on top of themselves that are now sort of working constantly and indiscriminately to just sort of grind us down. And so I think that's like where you can get that, is that it's just like these people are all working for what? What are they working towards? What does it even mean? What?
I mean, you see a lot of the fruits of their labor and their fucking nonsense. Like they're making nothing. They're producing nothing. They're just, and
then they die. They just get hit by something walking this way.
And they get like reprocessed or some shit. You know, like
it's you know. So that's what I'm saying. Like I think the movie doesn't really, like, every time you try to think, okay, I know how this.
Oh, keep an eye out for the ED-209 right there. Boom. From RoboCop 2. He's in the robot graveyard.
Oh shit. Oh no, I didn't even notice that. That's awesome.
And I also had the robot, I think, from Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, like I like the fact that this movie has, like, at a very basic level, there is like a loosely defined plot of, you know, they're sending these guys down to destroy this thing, and then the rest is just like getting lost in the chaos and lost in the dreams and nightmares and the just like brutality and disgusting grotesqueness of this place. So like it's linear, but it deviates from that line constantly for very long amounts of time, basically.
So also the style.
I'm sorry.
No, go then.
Oh my God, this.
I was also saying, like, I think the fact that his map keeps falling apart is sort of like the metaphor for us that, like, to try to put this in any sort of, to try to make sense of this chaos in any real way. It's sort of fruitless. Like, you'll get there a little bit, but you're not gonna get, like, it's pointless. Like,
the fact that
would
the
just like
bottom teeth are top teeth and the top teeth are bottom teeth is
I would
so
also like to say that this monster
creepy.
has a big old set of titties.
Yeah, big
Because
hanging titties. Yeah.
Phil understands that good
horror has titties.
Yeah.
good
gotta have the
monster
titties, yeah.
has boobs in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's why he'd approve of The Last Jedi.
Totally.
He'd want to milk that.
Yep, totally.
Chop them up. Yeah.
So I think it's also interesting that, like, our protagonists, quote unquote, like, they have a very World War I aesthetic with the gas mask,
Yeah.
round helmet. You know.
There's
Something
also
else you can
something.
get,
Yeah,
like,
is
the
the
sort of like the yellowness, maybe like mustard gas sort of feeling, like that war zone kind of feeling.
There's also something later with the map where, like, those old shrews are, like, knitting it from stuff and, like, yeah, it's a weird movie.
It just boggles, like, my
That
mind.
this is all puppetry.
That this is
That this isn't like
100% practical.
Like, and it's the spaces look like so huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the way they
insane.
filmed it is so brilliant.
And it's like,
What is that?
he definitely, like, no matter what Shudder
Oh, the
paid
salamander.
him for this,
It wasn't enough.
It was not enough.
Yeah, like
Whatever price was negotiated.
But I mean, you also have to
not
understand the man's been making it for 30 years.
30
It's like-
years.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's the
there's the
the
masturbating.
pop marks. Yeah.
What's up?
Hey,
How's
man.
it going?
Hey, squeeze my boobie.
Freaky.
$5. What is that?
Bro.
Oh my God! And there's a monkey.
And the funny thing too is you're kind of like, oh man, wow, Phil needs help. But I'm like, I think this is his help. I think
this is
I
like-
think making this is like.
This has to be like very therapeutic.
But I also think I don't think it's fair to, like, especially like, I don't know. I think a lot of people think horror directors are like, oh, they're
Disturbed,
they're just.
yeah.
I'm like, actually, they're probably some of the most
Yeah.
like well-adjusted people
They
because
channel
they
their shit.
acknowledge that horror and nastiness is a part of life and they find a way to deal with it. Like, you know,
That's
the way you deal
that's
with
to me what horror is all about. Like,
Yeah.
it's it's
You can deal with
confronting
shit.
the dark corners
Of life,
of our
yeah.
lives and our minds,
Yeah.
and
And also, like-
and becoming confronting and becoming familiar with death. Also, like, I think is a big part of what makes horror so therapeutic, is becoming so familiar with death that killing in movies doesn't necessarily like get to you as much anymore, and it's just like you kind of become more well acquainted with it.
Yeah.
Through,
Scat in this movie is pretty
fucking
gross.
being electrocuted and pooping,
Whee!
whatever the fuck that is, slop. It's not even brown. It's like it looks like
oatmeal.
just like goop.
Gross.
Ah, I love it. This whole movie is like a 90-minute Tool video. Like, it really is just like, I mean, they do claymation videos
Yeah.
anyway, so like it's already seems very similar, but like it's so just like throwing crazy weird images at you, and I love it.
And
I
just
love every minute of
the
it.
ability, like the disturbing images, like
Oh
really,
my
like
God.
actually managing to be disturbing. Sometimes
So-
it's difficult. It's like really gross. He captures the goopiness a lot, and I think. That's,
And like, it is hard to create like a
and
really
like seriously,
good
like you ask yourself, like,
disturbing
why is
image.
this? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, there's like 150 in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Like,
so many.
why is this happening? Like you ask yourself,
know,
like, why
yeah.
is any of this occurring? And like you can go back to sort of like those metaphors we have in our lives of like the systems of like why
The
are people
machinations,
suffering
systems,
for what,
yeah.
for who, for this, but why? You know, it's
Can you imagine the calls they'd get if they showed this on basic cable?
Oh my,
Yeah.
never.
If AMC was like, oh yeah, let's show it. Fuck it.
Never.
Oh my God.
Let's do it.
I think that would all depend on how they advertised it. Like, if they
Yeah.
advertised Mad God, they put Mad God in the theater and they advertised it like, come on to this one-of-a-kind experience.
Yeah,
It
right.
is Mad God. And a bunch of, like, 8-year-olds.
Imagine Mad God in 4DX.
Oh,
No,
no.
they should put it at midnight on Halloween.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
That would be cool. Is this the machine that's just like making workers?
Maybe.
Or just like pumping out a bunch of like
Again. The goop.
little dudes to do
Yes,
their
little
this is
dudes.
the
As you do. As you know.
And then like some of them literally are just like in a line killing themselves. Like jumping into a hole or something. Like
This reminds me that as a child I never had one of those like gummy.
Oh, yeah.
Maker things?
Yeah, those
Oh.
little resin dudes.
My parents were like, no, you're gonna make a mess. You can't handle
Oh,
this. You know?
look at
I
them
was
all
never
in
in.
a
I,
line.
creepy crawlers. Creepy crawlers.
Yeah.
Creepy crawlers.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. You put the goop, and then the goop dries, and then it's in the mold, and it's like, yeah.
I remember that
little
song.
gelatin little.
They want to know
molds?
why everybody our age is making resin pyramids. It's because of creepy crawlers. We were like, yeah, baby, I want to make that stuff.
Oh my god.
How many skulls did Phil
Wow.
Tippet have?
Yeah, right.
Or maybe.
You know, like what did he
Where
do
did he get
with
all
all
these skulls?
What does he do with all these skulls after they're done?
I don't want to know about what Phil Tippet does
like,
on a Saturday
does he
night,
give
baby.
out these skulls to like friends and family? Like where does he?
But
give
also
out his
remember that these skulls are
Please.
probably maybe the size of like a 50-cent piece. So like
Right.
you're thinking they're so huge, they're not the huge, they're small.
Yeah.
So,
true.
you know, that's what's amazing
There's so
is that
many skulls.
you can see
The
how
scale,
the
yeah.
scale is so impressive, and when you really
See, here we go. They're
Oh,
just
yeah.
walking up to this hole and getting burned.
They gotta feed the hole.
it's like they're looking down like,
Feed
what
the
is
hole,
that?
Yeah, you gotta burn
oops.
something. It's burning the next guy. so
Gotta
then
nuke something.
Fuel the next.
Touche.
See, because they're burning the machine. They're the fires. Of the
I think this is just clumsiness. Like, come on now, you can see them. It's like we don't care.
No, they don't.
They make more.
That's the thing. They don't care. They're just
Yeah.
they're just making
There's
them.
more.
They're pumping them out. So, whatever. If they get caught under the
If
wheels
they
of
get
the
got, they
steamroller,
get
then
got, baby.
yeah.
I would love to see George Lucas talking about this movie.
I
Yeah.
feel like
This feels
but
like the
my
type
thing
of
is, too,
movie
though,
George Lucas would be like, yeah, Phil, keep doing it.
my thing is, I feel like the sort of the tones of capitalism are more overt in the first half, and the second half gets a little bit
Well, yeah.
more
It gets a
like
little bit
abstract
more
and a little more
war-ish.
like what's okay. This is more like a what did he make those little dolls out of? It looks like someone's cat hair.
I know, right? It looks like like balls of like
Dog
hair.
animal hair that he
Yeah.
found.
And what are these things? And then they just send them across, and they fucking accidentally kill people.
Whoops.
Yeah.
This is very Monty Python in my opinion. It's
Yeah.
just one of them just taking someone out. Oh!
Danny, did you know that Phil Tippett worked on the Twilight Saga, New Moon,
Whoa!
and Eclipse, and Breaking
I did
Dawn,
not know
Part 1
that.
and 2?
Did he work on the werewolf effects?
Yeah, he helped out with all those.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh man, did
Those
he?
visual effects.
Was he part of the nightmare that is the Renesmee puppet? Oh man. So before they did CG on
Bonk.
in the last Twilight movie, Breaking Dawn Part 2, she has a baby. Bella has a baby with Edward, and the baby's name is Renesmee.
Why are you pushing the?
And the baby was a puppet at first before they went
Oh,
to CG,
God.
and the puppet is the most terrifying thing you've ever seen in your life because
no.
the whole thing about Renesmee is she's supposed to sort of look like a precocious child, like even though she's a baby, she's like more than a baby because
Oh,
she's like
no.
a special baby.
Oh no.
She's a vampire baby.
That sounds.
And so
I can imagine.
there's you can look it up on Twitter, the Renesmee.
Yeah.
It's and it moves, its eyes move. It's terrifying.
Wow.
So they eventually ended up doing more CG work and digital
Yeah.
work because it really was really scary looking. Like it moves around too. Its eyes move and blink and like it. They did a lot of work on that nightmare thing.
Oh god.
Kind of wish we saw it in Mad God. I wish you could have
Right?
kept it.
Yeah,
and put
that
it in here.
should.
If he worked on it, if that was him.
Yeah.
It says visual effects.
Mm,
And,
maybe he's the one.
so like, yeah, do it. It'll be creepy.
Yeah, right? In his mind, he's like, creepy's good. And they're
Creepy,
like,
yes,
no,
that's
no,
what-
no. Baby need to be cute.
Oh. Well, then why did you call me? He was really like such a great interview though in the Joe Bob episode.
He
Like,
was, yeah.
Even though he was super dodgy about like anything about what this means.
Yeah.
Of course he's gonna be like, why would he say, oh, it's it's about this.
Yeah.
He also worked on creature visuals for Starship Troopers.
Oh, nice.
So
He did a lot of things.
He's got
done,
the best
like,
resume.
all the
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, he was going to do claymation dinosaurs before they decided to do CG for Jurassic Park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Whoops.
Boom. There
Boom.
goes it. Oh, no. People just indiscriminately
How
dying.
did they do the splatter so little? Like, did he really squish some of them?
Nah. Oh, there's...
There
are those,
it is.
So are those...
Balls
Those
eyes?
are
Kids?
balls. Those are balls.
Because they have, like, nipples.
They're
the poop, yeah.
They're
I love
open
it.
sores.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Yes, subscribe.
Oh, God, the baby totalitarianism.
I like to think that is his fun inside joke at all dictators, that they just sound like little
They're just
stupid white
giant babies, yeah.
Because they are. Wow. Get to stepping, cat hair man.
It just like looks like cancer.
It does.
I
It
know.
looks like tumors. It's really gross. Every
Yeah.
time these creepy, the tumor-like creatures come on is when I'm out. This is gross.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's nasty.
It is. It's really
gross. It's really
really
disturbing.
gross. Poor Phil Tippet and his dreams. Oh my God.
Right, dude?
Fucking
Like, come
haunting.
on. Then again, this man made the tauntaun, so. Well, if you really look at what a tauntaun is, it's pretty disturbing.
It's kind of nightmare fuel.
It's a nightmare.
And the
shit.
fucking noise they make are you
I don't know if he was responsible for
No,
that.
that was
but,
Ben Bird.
Well,
Yeah.
that's probably because he
needed
saw
audio.
that thing and he said,
Okay.
"That's what that sounds
That's
like."
yeah.
That sounds like a nightmare. Ew, that's so gross.
Yeah.
It's nasty. The mouth is nasty.
This movie's like everything is like it's gross, but it's also gross in a like very like
A visually artistic.
uncanny way.
Yeah.
Like none of this looks like anything that actually exists.
Yeah.
But it looks just close enough
That you're disturbed.
that you're like, oh.
Yeah. It's very.
It's like this
interesting.
Lovecraftian quality that's like that doesn't. Does that exist? No, that doesn't exist.
Thank God.
Yeah, right? Oh my God. Thank God the world does not look like this.
If Phil Tippet ever opened a Disneyland,
Oh my God!
the
Mad
world,
Godia!
the world would weep. Then that Ferris wheel shits on you, while this Ferris wheel weeps on you.
Don't talk to the help.
What's weird is there's like dressed so like militarily,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have like it doesn't have a machine gun
Ah!
to like kill these people
No.
or to like stop opposition.
Well, because
Because
they're an
his job-
insurgency,
Yeah.
you know?
Also,
like,
I mean, his job is not to kill people. His job is to get to the bomb, I guess.
to the nerve center or whatever the fuck that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
With like 1 million bombs that have not gone off. Like, you'd think at some point they'd be like, maybe we should try something else.
But maybe that's part of the point, is that they don't.
Right, exactly.
Is the futility of
The
everything
futility
they're doing.
of-
Another reason
yeah.
why the map just keeps falling apart. It's like futile. Like this is
Yeah,
the futility of this entire universe. Is
this is so... I don't, something about this is just like such a vibe in this dark fucking...
I know the pieces fit. That's what I see when I.
It's true, it is.
Yeah, so the
No,
camera work is so
sweet.
brilliant
Yeah.
in this movie. You can see the care. You can see why it took 30 years. Like
yeah, for real.
the care of this is so artistic. Like movies that
So
with
meticulous.
$200 million don't get this kind of detail
Seriously.
and camera work and scale with, you know. Like, I could show this to someone, and, like, they would probably ask, like, oh, how was this done? And then you could tell them this was all practical, and they would, like, probably freak the fuck out.
They'd be like, no, you're full of shit.
I would love to see this as like an art installation. you
Yeah.
know, like-
Yeah.
I would
like,
love to see
have
his
have it
set.
playing
yeah.
and then have the miniatures around.
I
it,
would
you
love
know?
to see the miniatures, like,
That'd
how,
be so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine where they are. He must have, I mean, I don't know if he took some of them down when he finished
He
them.
burned it all. He's like, I don't know.
So
I rebuke you!
I like to imagine in my head that it's like that Guillermo del Toro
Uh-huh.
Cabinet of Curiosities
Ooh.
movie that was about the stop motion animator
Mhm.
filming something in his garage. Because Guillermo's friends with Phil Tippet, so I think that
Ah.
he based it off of knowing that Phil has been doing this in his, spare time.
Yeah. And I like that. See, remind me of Guillermo del Toro, and he likes to do models too. And I always like it every weekend. It's like painting time, and he like gets a little monster out and he paints it, and then he adds it to his collection. He's adorable.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite things on the 2001 Hellboy Director's Cut DVD is like he has this whole featurette about monster design
Mm-hmm.
and how like monsters have to be like kind of like they should be like asymmetrical in his theory, and the monster design. He likes an elegant monster design.
Right.
And he goes through, you see all the different designs that they had for the Samael monster
Mm-hmm.
in Hellboy, and how they, wanted it to feel like,
no.
stop motion.
They got you.
Whoa.
Yeah, again.
These suitcases in a pile are very Holocaust-esque too, which is really freaky. Like this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's in what's freaky is it's like a detail that people don't always know unless you like study the Holocaust a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like sort of like learned about it. It's not one of the more obvious like images. It's an image that's pretty like ubiquitous, but it's not like one of the more obvious ones. Like, but it's there.
The other thing this movie reminds me of is the beginning of Terminator 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With
The way that the apocalyptic future looks like.
This,
Phil
like,
didn't
nightmare
work on that movie, but if he did, it would be even better.
Yay! Audience participation surgery.
Right, you're trying to match what he said.
So random. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find all the driving totals.
See, and that's what the dreamlike aspect of it is. Like, it feels like, oh, we got from one dream, okay, here's the next dream.
Right.
And the thing with dreams is that they don't always connect at all. They just
Yeah,
totally, like,
sometimes you
randomly.
just-
But sometimes, what's interesting is, sometimes the dreams don't connect, but yet you are the same character
Yeah.
in the dream from one, and somehow you end up, like, fitting into the next dream, even though you really aren't the right character for it. Like, that's
Right.
happened to me. That's the other strange thing about, like, when you're dreaming, sometimes, I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys, I'll dream that I'm someone else. I'm a character.
Wow.
So it's not, but yet I'm also myself. It's a very strange experience, because I know I am myself,
Yeah.
but I'm also someone else. Catwoman, or whatever, or I'm some other, like, strange character. And so, it's a sort of strange, sort of, like,
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, Phil experienced that, because it seems like sometimes that's what it's, like, happening in the story, is, like, the sort of, like, double perspective, like, where you're at once yourself, but you're also someone else, and it's strange.
I love the, like, it's so much creepier the way he uses, like, human figures sometimes in some of these shots, like, in there with the stop motion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then you get that juxtaposition of, like, oh, wait, that's like a person. Wait, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird.
And yet they feel animated, because it's
Yeah.
so strange. It's so,
Mhm.
like, out of sorts.
This scene is so fucking weird.
Mhm.
This is like the most Tool that this movie gets, probably. With the ticking clock and the bloodshot eye and the fucking pulling all the weird stuff out of his chest cavity. Which is also, like, very Holocaust, like, the mining of, you know, the Jews for
Medical
their riches
research.
and their, you know...
There's some really, like, heavy subtext in this text.
But done in such a, like, absurd way.
Yeah. And I think that's why he, like, another reason he doesn't want to, like, tie down on a specific image. Because, like, maybe we're seeing that because that's what's, like, most prevalent, prescient in our minds.
Right.
Like, for this story. But there's someone else who may see something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, more than probably any movie I've ever seen, this is, like, as wide open to interpretation as any movie. Like, I'm sure he would never want to, like, even suggest anything about,
a definitive answer.
What this actually means to him.
Yeah. That's the thing, too. It's also, like...
It might not mean anything.
It might not mean anything, or it might be something so deeply personal. That's an interesting thing, too, is, like, sometimes people want artists to always put everything on the table. And sometimes people make art, and that's all they want to give you. Like, this is how I deal with whatever I have, but I don't need to tell you everything about why I needed to do this, or wanted to do this, or make this, you know? We get really caught up sometimes in, like, what are your intentions? What are your intentions?
Yeah, and sometimes you really can't even put it into words in a way that people will, like,
understand. This is the only...
Get exactly what you're saying.
And this is the way he makes you understand what his intentions are. He made this. This is what this is.
This
so
is
it's
what
like,
it is.
maybe he'll never... This is the only way he knows how to visualize.
This is the only information he's giving you.
Yeah. Maybe this is the only information he has.
Yeah, maybe. They are dreams. Like, he probably is like, I don't know, what the fuck? Don't ask me.
Sometimes you don't know. You don't know why the hell your brain put all these images together or processed everything you've learned or seen or read or...
And it's interesting the choice to, like, have that, like, film grain where it's almost like, you know, like hospital footage, like, like, you know...
Well, interestingly enough, maybe I'm wrong, but this kind of looks like some footage that was filmed later on the process of the movie.
Yeah.
So I almost wonder if that's another way to cover up how much technology changed over the course of making this film. I don't know, but that's kind of sometimes when I see certain...
But it does feel like archival footage of, like, some, like, Nazi experiments or something, you know what I mean, with that film grain.
That looks like barbecue sauce.
Look at that.
Sorry.
It looks like jam to me.
I think I saw barbecue sauce.
You hear that? You can sell some Mad God jam and
Mad
God, gross.
Yeah.
Just like pulling gold and jewelry
chunky
and
strawberry
coins jam. And like that's so like
metaphorical. It could also be like the definition, like exploiting any sort
like,
of
literally,
person with for their riches, any marginalized community for their riches, their resources, like
Africa, you name it.
And like taking it out of their literally out of their blood and bodies because that's what it took.
With the
stealing from them and killing them.
Like nasty, you know, innards coming with it, you know, like caked in like. Pick
your current event or past historical one.
Yeah,
and
right.
You will
exactly.
be horrified.
Yep. Yes, goop. More goop. I love it.
It really is. I really can't unsee barbecue sauce now.
So goopy.
I really can't unsee the barbecue sauce. It's freaking me out. This is why I don't eat barbecue sauce.
Was that a liver?
This is why.
This is why.
Oh god. Oh, now there's papers.
It's papers. It's like different papers.
Like
it's
documents
books.
And shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, something that my ex said like one time that really struck me about the Holocaust of like, think about the generations of like important Jewish thinkers and information and knowledge that was lost in all of that, like, and I had never even thought of that before, and I was like, wow, yeah, it's it's like a second Library of Alexandria almost with all of that.
With any genocide, like think about how people are lost.
Yeah, all that potential. Yeah.
All that potential that you know, it's not unborn. It was there. You know,
Right.
People who could have created something amazing.
Whoa. This is
Medical
what they were
marvels.
looking for.
Kind of looks like his spinal cord came to life.
Took out all the jewels, all the knowledge.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking,
I
worm
love
seal
her
baby.
I love her
Raises
I
expression.
know, yeah.
Raises it like the Lion King.
Yeah.
And I think the way that they make those human characters so inhuman, sometimes they use like frame rate. Look at the frame rate of this.
Speed
That's
ramping and
not
stuff. Yeah, totally.
normal
No.
frame rate. Like,
Yeah.
and it makes her look so inhuman.
It makes her look claymation.
Yeah. So it's such a vibe, this movie. Oh my god. It's like a million different vibes.
Most of them disturb.
Yes. No, most? I don't think there's a single one that isn't
I
disturbing.
kind of like the beginning.
Yeah.
Are you ever
And then the
are you ever
head
disturbed?
drill, yes.
Disturbed? What do you
Disturbed
mean? Like,
dis-
not
You're
dis-
disturbed.
Uh-huh.
You ever disturbed?
No, I don't think so.
I think it would be turbed. Cause
I don't think you're turbed.
Disturbed.
I don't think turbed
I'm just
is
turbing
a word.
up. I'm just turbed up.
Turbed.
There's a word like that actually, if you take the thing off, it is a word.
Yeah.
Gruntled.
Gruntled.
Gruntled
Yeah.
is a word as opposed to disgruntled.
Now we just sound like an episode of Buffy. I know you can be overwhelmed and you can be underwhelmed.
Just be
But
whelmed.
can you ever just be whelmed?
Oh, the fingernails.
He grows.
So the little round glasses remind me of Raiders of the Lost Ark. That
Yeah,
Nazi
those are
guy.
like the Nazi glasses. Anytime a character in a movie has the round frames, you know he's a Nazi.
Or John Lennon.
Or yeah.
Oh God. The state's gonna sue you for saying that.
No, he's differentiating him from Nazis.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh. You guys might be onto something. You both might be onto something.
John Lennon's a Nazi? What?
No, dear Lord.
Breaking news?
No.
Disturb, late 13th century, disturbin, to frighten, alarm, break up, tranquility of, circa 1300, to stop or hinder, from the Old French, disturber, Old North French, disturber, and directly from Latin, disturbare, throw into disorder, from dis, completely, see dis, plus turbare, to disorder, disturb, from turba, turmoil, see turbid.
Turbid. Wow, I'm
But
turbid as fuck
turbid
right now.
is a muddy foul with extraneous matter, thick, not clear, use of liquids, and having least disturbed colors. Muddy is
Well, it fit right in Mad God. That's,
yeah, so there you go. You might be turbid. I don't know the plural
This
of that.
movie's pretty turbid.
Turbidated.
It's turbid, baby.
Turbid as fuck.
It's turbid time.
It's
The toenails too? Why?
Bleh.
Bro, he's on fleek.
He's on foot.
Wow, haven't heard that one in a while. That's an ancient word.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
That guy kind of looks like Jerry Springer for a second. And
Yeah,
I
he
was like,
does,
R.I.P.
yeah.
Jerry Springer. You can see how.
See, this is like making
But you
your
can
life
see
harder.
how
Why
this
don't you
actor
just...
was like, I am not used to wearing these ridiculous nails. I'm trying.
And he puts on a yarmulke
Ugh.
and beads. Well, yarmulkes aren't necessarily like,
Yeah.
you know, there's like Christian
But it's
monks
definitely
that
well. I
wear
think definitely Phil
coverings.
didn't want to. He wanted
that
to all.
big ass fucking sage smudges burning.
I think Phil wanted to have an all-encompassing effect
Yeah.
to all religions.
It's
like,
just
he didn't
yeah,
want
it's
to
just
pick one.
pious, yeah. So
He's
here's
just sort of like
the old crones weaving the map out of what I do not know.
Looks like maybe human flesh,
Looks like probably human flesh.
which is why it might be falling apart.
Yeah.
Maybe it's mutant flesh. Come on, guys. You got mutants.
Yeah, let's be a little creative here.
Wah.
Let's be inclusive.
And eyeball, sure, why not?
See, and then this is just sort of like this constant back and forth of like they're sending up the map for this futile mission. Like
Mhm.
what is the point of any of this? There is no point. See?
Through the looking glass.
That's sort of like a wild interpretation too. Like, is Phil trying to say that this all boils down to like essentially what is a holy war, like our whole lives of like drawn, like, or is he saying it's inextricable from the terrible systems we've created? I don't know. He doesn't want to say.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe.
Maybe
that was his answer. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I think what's interesting is that, you know, all of these horrors we're seeing, there's like always that sheen of like something man-made is behind it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's always like
Yeah.
structure, it's like, you know, we are responsible
Totally,
for
yeah.
this hell.
Definitely, yeah. The man, the figure, the male figure, the patriarchal figure is definitely behind like every major decision in this. Seeing now.
And those soldiers are so much bigger than him.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Just grabs it. Give me that shit.
And they just keep sending them down. Or
Yeah,
up,
the Sisyphean futility of just like, yes, this is what we do. We are the freedom fighters. We just send guys down with bombs and they get captured.
And they die. And then we try again.
And it's just as machine-like as the actual, you know, machine that they're trying to supposedly destroy, I assume. I think. Who knows? But, you know, working from context clues.
Let's see what trivia we got about this. Almost every shot in the film was done in a single take, so there's no take twos.
Wow.
Whoa.
There's no take twos in this movie. In a 2022 interview, Phil Tippet provided some specific insight into the years-long process of making the film. Sometimes on the weekends, I would get as many as like 15 to 20 people to come in, and these were people that I'd picked up giving talks around the Bay Area and whatnot. Most of them didn't have any experience working with tools, and so I would spend during the week a little bit of time figuring out what the process would be, and then on the weekends, when they would show up, I would show them. I couldn't have done it without them because a lot of the stuff was so involved and tedious. One of the sets was these hills and mountains of dead army men or soldiers, and that took about 4 and 6 people over 3 years to build.
Oh my god.
The original script was only 12 pages long.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, because it's just
It's visuals, yeah.
one sentence and that's the scene, like,
Yeah.
and then you just fucking go
Expound
crazy
on
with
that,
it. Yeah.
The film has no audible dialogue and consists almost entirely of stop-motion animation and puppet work, although there are a few live-action sequences where actors in puppet suits were used.
In puppet suits.
Ooh.
Interesting. So that also obviously contributes to why they look so puppet-like, because they're actually dressed as puppets.
Phil Tippett started the movie after making RoboCop 2 and considered abandoning it 3 years later in 1993 when he was working on Jurassic Park because of how CGI animation seemed to make stop-motion a thing of the past. However, after some urging, he started a Kickstarter campaign that allowed him to finish the movie.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, like, that, I could see how that would discourage him at first, and then I think the way that CGI has just sort of taken over cinema since then, I'm sure probably, like, motivated him even more, probably, to, like, yeah, no, there aren't really that many stop-motion movies being made. And this is like
It's difficult. Yeah, like
the commitment to this vision.
Nobody's
over 30
making them
years.
without a giant studio.
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody
I
banking
mean,
it
there's
when they
basically
do.
like a.
But they have a studio backing
Yeah,
it.
they
you
do.
know?
It's
Like,
very
this
hard.
is-
It is. It's really difficult because
Yeah.
it's.
I mean,
like-
if you have a studio backing it,
Yeah.
a movie that takes 30 years, you have like 10 times the manpower.
Yeah.
It probably takes 3 years.
Yeah. That's the thing too. Is he basically did this.
He was just
Almost
getting people
entirely on
together,
his
like,
own.
hey, you want to work on this fucking
Yeah.
weird ass thing I'm doing?
This is fucked up.
It's a virus.
This is fucked up.
And it's just murdering.
That's what viruses do. Indiscriminately.
Murder.
I like how some of the kills in this movie are just people like getting plooped.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, bloop, 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 bloop.
Poof.
It's so arbitrary and indiscriminate, and like there's the sort of uncaring cruelty of this whole universe is terrifying in its own way.
Like, to me, this movie is way more disturbing than like Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
But
and you know, Terrifier 2 gets its gross out from like lingering and reveling in it, and this movie can get like the same gross out like in like 10 seconds.
I think the reactions to Terrifier 2, a lot of that is because of people in an audience who would not normally watch horror like that are seeing that for the first time.
I saw, like, when it was first coming out, I saw a tweet.
Oh, the
that was
Minotaur
like,
hand job. There it
oh,
is.
there it is.
There it is.
Oh shit.
Woo!
I saw a tweet from someone that was like, if you watch a lot of horror movies, it's not that bad.
It's not.
It's not. Like I mean, it's pretty bad. Like it's in the top 5%.
I think the first one is
violent,
actually more horrific to me than the second one. Yeah, the sawing in half was more violent to me just because I felt like it was more sexualized, which like the combination of like sexual violence and physical violence is pretty like disturbing to watch at any time. So to me that was like more fucked up when I feel like they made Terrifier almost like a sexual predator.
Comedy.
Like a sexual predator. You get what I'm saying? The first Terrifier, I feel like he's more like a sexual predator.
But the second one
he's more like
he leans so much more into the mime clown thing.
Exactly.
Like that's the thing that I love about Terrifier 2 is not that he's being so extremely violent, but that he's being that violent and then he's like laughing at the people.
Yeah.
He's like, look at this. This is fucking.
Yeah.
Like that scene where he's sitting there reading the newspaper. It's like a family of 4 died, and he's like slapping his thigh.
In the first Terrifier, he's more angry. Like there's a lot more violence in his actions as like
he's
he
capricious,
wants to
but
rape. But yeah, the second one he's almost whimsical.
He's
basically.
right. That's what
so yeah, I don't know. That's why I found it less scary, and I just really think I don't know. I just think. I don't want to be mean, but I just kind of feel like people who vomited watching that scene. I'm like, you're a little squeamish. You're a little squeamish, man. I mean, come on. I've seen worse. I've seen worse than Saw, in my opinion.
We've seen worse since we started talking about Terrifier 2.
Thank you. But I'm saying, like, the dead pig scene in Saw 3, is it Saw 3? That stuff almost made me die.
Saw 3.
Yeah, when he, like, the dead pigs.
Yeah, it's Saw 3.
Oh, the grind up dead pigs?
Ooh,
yeah.
I lost it. That to me is like,
it
that's...
comes down a funnel and it's just like,
And then, like, yeah, like, it's just...
And he's, like, swimming in it. He's at a crossroads. Here we go.
Yeah. So that was my...
Yeah, good
this
times.
is gross. See, another beautiful scene that, like, shows you scale, and you're like, wow. And then you realize there's some guy just leaning over the...
It's probably, just like... the size of your desk.
There are pterodactyls in hell, as there are triceratops.
Of course,
we've established.
Dinosaurs are in hell? That's not fair.
Well, I think this is all hell.
Well, I just watched a
hell.
movie called A Nymphoid Barbarian in Dinosaur Hell, so maybe
goodness.
this is the Dinosaur Hell. Yeah, it's a trauma movie. So.
I don't think it's fair the dinosaurs got put in hell. Phil Tippet. It's not their fault that an asteroid came out and destroyed them.
You should have seen what they were tweeting before they died.
We
want them in hell too.
Cancelled.
Cancelled.
Let's say the T in T-Rex standing for turf, motherfucker.
No, not the T-Rex. It's my favorite.
Little R bitch, what the fuck?
Oh my god. You know what's funny about this movie is, like, it gets even weirder from here on out.
What I would, yeah, it's true. What I would enjoy is throwing a Halloween party and putting this in the background. Like
just have it playing.
60-inch television.
Fuck the Mad Ghoul log, like fucking just put the movie
put Mad
on.
God on, and like just.
And there's no words, so like it's
And just see how many people stop in their tracks as they're trying to like get some Halloween punch. Be like, what the fuck is going on?
Right, but like half hour into your Halloween party, everyone's just like. Staring at this movie like, what did you put on for us?
It's scary.
Look at this. Oh, I love this fucking like
I love this shot.
Skull graveyard.
This is really cool, yeah.
With the spike crosses like impaling the skull.
So is this a guy in a puppet suit? Maybe?
I don't think this guy is.
Okay.
I think this is a puppet.
I don't know if we'll know.
I
The
think
big
anybody you can't really see their face, like,
Mm.
isn't a human. But the human people you can see, like, their human faces.
I mean,
See, this is super
this
Terminator
is
2.
amazing.
This
yeah.
this is very Terminator.
So, Terminator 2.
This is very Terminator. Which is very military industrial.
Right, it's very it's like, war movie esque.
And this
But
was
with
crazy.
very-
Are they having their own war while there's someone else fighting
Yeah, like,
a war?
internally.
Is there a war and a war on top of a war? Which is,
You know what'd be dope
Which
as
is
fuck?
very realistic.
Yeah.
It would be dope as fuck because there was a Mad God video game.
Oh man.
Why?
And it's
That
just a
would be
bunch of weird ass
so
mini games that you just keep playing
insane.
through till you get to the end.
And nothing is connected, and
That'll be
like,
fucking crazy.
Yeah, Phil will have that ready for you in another 40 years and he'll be dead.
Go, bro. Let's get Mad God mugs, Mad God video
and
games.
to win the game, you have to grind up a baby
Oh, jeez.
and turn it into powder, and then mix it up, and then put it, pour it into a thing, and then put it in an oven, and then a universe.
I'm just
is
gonna replay the Minotaur handjob level.
born. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
totally.
that
That's
make
the
it
best
fun.
level.
To escape the Minotaur.
I know exactly which level I would replay, but it's like, it's coming later in the movie.
Oh, okay.
It's the one with all the bright colors. I love bright colors.
I like colors.
The colors.
Yeah, this is like so impressive. Like this
Yeah, like.
is every time I think about like how this was made and like what the actual size of any of this really is.
The
Yeah.
irony too of this movie is like an anathema to like every other low budget filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because every other low budget film
Joe
is-
is a retard.
is trying to do as much as they can live action
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and have like a little bit of special effects
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that they will hopefully be able to pull off well.
Yeah.
Right.
When large amount of the time not so much. And then here is somebody who is such an expert with special effects
Mm-hmm.
that he makes an entire 85-minute film that is like perfect quality, disturbing.
I also think
Stop motion.
if most indie filmmakers had the ability to spend 30
30
years
years.
making a movie, they'd probably.
But yeah, that's the biggest thing I think is a lot of times we don't
No.
realize how.
I think it'll still suck after.
It was still sucking.
I think
Suck
a lot.
worse.
I think a lot of like, especially problems in modern day filmmaking, is just lack of time.
Yeah,
And if you've noticed, like
because
some,
like the generating content culture.
the churning.
Churning, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's why like you saw post-COVID lockdown, you saw movies that were really good that had some time to sort of marinate,
Mhm.
like, and they'd been able to go back and rethink them,
Right.
and that was a boon for those movies to be
Mhm.
able to do that, to be able to think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's just like, you really see how just like the pushing, and I mean like learning that we're at a point in the world where giant $250 million movies are literally being cut to the day of the release.
Oh God.
Okay, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
That's like what
And
are
then they're being re-edited
re-edited
as they're in theaters.
as they're in theaters, because we've seen this, and it's like, this is a problem. Do you think that maybe the issue being that you needing to constantly make quarterly profits hinders the ability for some people to properly develop and make a giant movie? Like, maybe? No? Okay, let's not think about that.
Yeah.
This is, I find disturbing. This like
Yeah.
I know.
This,
never ending.
I've had many dreams about
Yeah.
stuff like this, pits that, especially with pits like
And the
this
music.
with walls. Like, he's really managed to capture some of my really freaky dreams.
I love the music that plays over this. That like epic, somber,
Mhm.
like, you know.
You know what would be really cool is if they ever did a re-edit of this, and not like re-edit the movie itself, but instead the entire soundtrack was made by Tool.
Oh my God. Yes.
That would be so amazing, right? Like if
You could just you could have somebody could do that on their computer, just like put a bunch
no,
of
but
Tool
I mean like
songs
if Tool
over.
like made
Oh,
all
like
the
free
music,
original
like,
music.
an original
Oh,
soundtrack for that made by
Yeah.
Tool.
Or-
The way that like in Legend by Ridley Scott, Tangerine Dream did the soundtrack and then they recut it. And
They
then
did a bunch of.
Yeah.
I mean, they did. I think they did Near Dark too.
Yeah, but I'm saying it would be cool if they did it with this.
Yeah.
Like they should do their own OST.
There's a movie that I've been in love with for the last couple of years called Old Joy that the whole soundtrack is done by Yola Tango.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's so good.
This the medical whenever they have like this like medical stuff on, it reminds me of Repo the Genetic Opera.
Yeah, it does, especially with her dark
with the
eye
eyeliner,
makeup and the
yeah.
hair. Yeah.
You can kind of see like the sort of dollness, the doll suit or whatever. This fucking thing.
Hmm?
This might be like the most nightmare fuel part of this movie.
This guy.
This fucking
I love it.
whatever this
This,
thing
if
is.
I was gonna cosplay anything in this movie, it would be
Oh
this
my
thing.
god.
This thing
Yeah,
would be
that-
the coolest cosplay.
It would take forever, but
But it
to
would be
do
pretty
a
badass.
really fucking
Yeah.
badass.
But see, it's cool.
Fingers, oh my god, it's so terrifying. She's like,
What's up?
why am I gonna hand you?
I guess.
I guess you're the person that I'm supposed to. It's like wiggling around in there.
Make sure to give me 5 stars on you.
And then this little thing does not stop crying. Oh my god. It's
Nope.
the worst.
It is the worst.
They're sort of like that's sort of like the monsters in that anime, The Promised Neverland. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very similar.
Ooh, we gotta watch the season 2 then.
Yeah, we have to catch up.
Mhm. I know. Dang it! Now I have the song. What's gonna happen?
That's like my least favorite.
This
Tool
kind of
song,
looks
too.
like a Jawa.
Oh, yeah,
It
the-
does, right? It
yeah.
looks like
Java,
a door to
Java's door.
Yeah. Or like a Jawa's. What is the name? The sand
Sand trawler.
trawler. Yeah.
She just sleeps
Is she
in
just
a
like,
barn.
I'm having an existential crisis, I gotta lie down?
Yeah,
She's having
right.
a Barbie moment because she's like, damn, what did I just do?
You guys ever think about dying?
Constantly! This is where we are!
Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know how parents do this shit. I'm selling it. I'm selling it. After a few days, it's gone. You want it?
Someone left a baby.
Someone left a baby.
Bro, we watched this Jean-Claude Van Damme movie about stealing kidneys.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
on the black market, you can sell a kidney from like, what'd you say, 30 to
$30,000 to
$200,000?
$200,000.
Oh my god.
But no. You sell the kidney to the donor, but if you donate, if you give your organ like voluntarily, you can only get like $5K. So they totally screw you. So it's the resale value that like triple, double, quadruples. Like
Man.
you yourself, you're like, I need $1,000. All right, you want my friggin' liver? Like I don't know, here. Like,
No, you only give organs you have extras of.
that's true.
I think I only have 1 liver.
You can take a piece of your liver though, I think, but that's really dangerous. You should.
Every time I hear the word liver, it just makes me think of Bas Rutten and the self-defense video and just like stab in the liver.
In the liver.
Stab in the liver.
In the liver.
I haven't thought about that in so long.
We should do. I'm not even gonna lie. Like nah, never mind.
What?
Nah, never mind. I don't even talk about. I'm not planning anything in the future. There's nothing to plan.
There's no future.
There's no future. I'm not planning. I like that
What is this?
pig.
The
Those are the
idols?
pig
Yeah,
with the
Pig Chef.
blindfold on. The
It's
pig
like a
chef with
chef.
the blindfold on.
Whoa.
I wonder what that's about. Oh, here comes Derek's favorite part. Glitter sparkle. This looks like Legend now. This looks like Ridley Scott's Legend.
Is this it? I don't know if this is it.
It's coming. It's all that glitter.
Well, it's the glitter, but I think it's a different part. It's
Oh.
like
All spacey.
it's later in
Yeah.
the movie. It was like everything's like neon colored and shit.
Yeah.
With these bulls with their fucking chains. They're chained to the door.
Yep.
Wow.
Gotta grab the bull by the horns
It's a metaphor.
to open the door.
That actually happened.
This scene is very like it's almost like
This
it's
camera
almost like
showing
a
it
this sequence is almost like a fantasy movie. Like it's so with the big statues and the minotaur creatures and this sort of like ethereal death like figure holding on to this squirming child.
Yeah, and then, like, I mean, this goes on. This like her or this thing, whatever it is, carrying the baby through all of this stuff goes
You
on
saw that?
for a
If
while.
you saw this figure in an alleyway, you piss yourself. Like,
Not today, Satan.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Bleh.
Mommy.
I thought I was your baby.
No, get out of here. Find your father.
This is like, get the fuck out of here. Get away from me. I don't know you.
This might be a person in a puppet suit. Because...
You think?
Yeah, I do.
Because they're just like gliding through.
I think it's just camera work. I don't know. It just kind of looks like a person in a puppet suit to me. I'm making a guess.
They're not like moving at all.
Maybe they don't have to move. What the hell is this going on over here?
What? Something in a tube? Yeah, that looks like some kind of squid-like creature in a tube.
These are very like. These feel like internet monsters, like the big square heads. People are really into weird, creepy square heads on the internet.
Really?
Like siren heads. Yeah, like weird monsters that have like the geometric shapes for heads.
There's this at Spirit Halloween. There's like this like new kids costume that's based on a video game called, what's it called there?
Poppy's
Playtime or something like that.
Poppy's Playtime, yeah.
And it's like this like large,
A lot
like
of eyes in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
like hairy heart-shaped head monster with like crazy sharp teeth.
Whoa.
So it looks really cute when its mouth isn't open. Then when its mouth is
Yeah.
open, it's like got saw teeth. It's gonna eat you.
Nice.
And it's like, it's pretty disturbing for like the hot new kids costume.
They like that Freddy's night, that Five Nights at Freddy's. See the youth like that horror.
Yeah. American Gladiators.
One day when you
Kids love that water.
Beat them up.
One day when you have hair on your tits, you can watch Mad God Kids.
Just the like.
These are some of the most
pointlessness
yeah.
of it.
The most disturbing parts of the movie to me is when it feels like animal abuse, the sort of like exploitation of like animal like creatures like that are just being like abused for
like pointless violence.
Yeah.
Like just like.
Like they're both
Cold,
obviously
uncaring
miserable.
world.
They're both obviously subjugated. And yet they're like destroying each other.
Well, yeah, I mean because they have those bolts and they fucking electrocute them to make them do this.
Mm-hmm.
As we see in just a second. I said, what? What's the matter? We're just beating each other up like you told us to. No, what are you doing?
I don't think he told them to beat each other up. I think they're supposed to shovel.
They're supposed to be working.
They're supposed
Yeah.
to be shoveling.
Gotta enforce the rules of
Working
electricity.
9 to 5.
Oh, now they're getting erections. Oh God.
Yeah.
They're little pointy erections.
This is gross. I'm being violated. Call HR.
Oh my God.
Just one more time for good measure. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
just keep going.
Gross.
This little pointy dick hanging down.
Blech. I didn't even notice his penis until now.
Oh, that was one of the first.
That's
first time
not.
I saw this.
I was not paying attention to where
I
new
look at
penises.
the cool lightnings.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Okay, I guess we'll shovel shit then. Okay.
Yeah, see, it sucks. Working 9 to 5.
Is that poop? Like, it literally looks like poop.
I think it's poop.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
going to
that's-
be clear with you. I think it's feces. I think everything is feces.
I mean, considering what we've seen in this movie, I think it's a safe assumption.
Safe assumption it's
that this
probably
is
feces.
Ooh, it's hard work, man.
Let's beat each other up.
Need a
Oh,
Gatorade.
no, the poop.
Yeah, see? And they
No
keep
more poop. Oh, come on.
getting- Yeah.
Yeah, someone just pooped. Fucking poked his eye out, Jesus.
Yep.
Because he's so angry that more poop just fell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it never ends. I'm gonna poke your fucking eye out.
Not a metaphor. He punishes the person scooping the poop with him rather than the people
Exactly.
pouring the poop on him.
Yep. Phil knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Smart guy.
More skulls.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite part might be coming up pretty soon.
Yes, I think the colors are coming.
The colors.
The colors.
I love that this guy is the guy who creates a new universe. Yeah, here we go. This is the level that I would play over and over of the video game.
No, I
The
don't think.
colors.
I feel like the giant spider monster would deter me.
Whoa. Whoa. And the little alien dudes
Not the
eating maggots with their little sphincter
Those are
mouths.
technically mealworms.
Oh, are they?
Yes. I really like the usage of a lot of different techniques. Like that was obviously like time lapse to like get the footage of the worm sort of crawling
It's
around.
like spaghetti. Just slurp it up. Yeah, it's good stuff.
They look like strange jelly beans
They
that
do.
have been mutated into little living things.
Whoa. Oh yeah, the spider monster.
The music here is so bizarre and,
I know.
and like adds this sort of ridiculously strange nightmarish element of like what's going on?
So it's like weird.
Why is this
carnival
elevator music
Yeah,
happening?
It has like a 60s vibe.
Yeah.
Is that monster? Is that alien thing? I don't even know what to call things.
Jelly
is
bean.
it pregnant?
Jelly bean head.
Yeah, jelly beans.
It has a butt.
And it's dead. Oh no. And we're playing cards.
That's life.
Some cockroaches playing cards. No big deal. Oh no.
Not again.
Oh, she said, "Oh no."
She did say, "Oh no."
I think it was more like, "Oh."
Yeah, that's why your face looks like that. Jerk face.
Yeah, tumor face.
Butt face. Big ol' ugly butt face head.
Whoa, those are fucking. I
Those are
love these.
disturbing.
So creepy.
That's cool. That's like at the haunted mansion, like
Yeah.
took crack
Yeah, those.
or
things.
LSD.
Yeah.
I want to go on Phil Tippet's Haunted Man.
Oh no,
Oh
you
my
don't.
god.
Crazy.
I think this is Phil Tippet's haunted mansion.
Yes.
But always cleanliness, right? Yeah, gotta get
So
that
Mad God is the Mad God, mad as in insane or mad as in
Maybe.
enraged?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly.
That's Phil's answer for
I
everything.
think yeah, probably both. Like it's very angry
Maybe.
and also
It's your interpretation, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it does start off with a quote about a vengeful god, so.
Yeah, true.
So then is the question that, are we insane to believe in a vengeful god?
Oh shit.
Mm.
That looks like some stock footage from
It
like
is
the
definitely stock footage.
20s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely stock footage
Whoa.
of an
That's
atomic
an
weapon.
atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't forgot about this.
Yeah, Oppenheimer cameo.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is part of the Oppenheimer verse.
The watch
This-
order is Oppenheimer, Barbie, Mad
God.
That's the correct viewing order. Established by the Vunda.
I've always thought that this would make a really good double feature with this movie called The Price Master. It's a short It's a short film
Mm-hmm.
that's like, it's just like a thing on YouTube, but it's this guy who's like dressed up in this weird outfit, this weird costume, and he has like a yard sale set out in front of him, and every time someone's like, "How much does this cost?" he's like, $2,000. And it's like this weird like commentary on captive market capitalism. So it's like these two absurd movies, like a short and a full length, that are just like really weird, absurd satires of capitalism.
Now all I'm thinking is, it is a candy dish, Ned, $90. I suppose you can use it for other kind of things. Maybe your keys. No, just candy.
Just candy.
$90.
What's that from?
The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay. No one else will get it. This guy's got a better fan machine than Beyonce.
This is the part where the baby will not fucking shut up. And I hate it.
Well, I mean, you know, if you're being held like that and you're a baby, you're
I
not
know,
going
right?
to shut up either. I think I would be pretty offended. Also,
Or
the
maybe
baby's
not.
about
Maybe
to turn
it's
into
like-
to goopy juice.
It's turned into goop, which is turned into a bar of some sort of metal, which is then melted or smashed into a powder, I think, which is then mixed with some sort of like herbs and spices of some kind, maybe.
Secret herbs and spices.
21
Tw-
herbs and spices. Like
And
the
then-
Colonel's original
And then
recipe.
thrown into an oven, and a universe is born. I
Baked
believe
at
that's-
350 for 30
Baked
minutes.
at, yeah, exactly. Placed directly on oven rack.
That's what's funny too, is the way he's like following a recipe. He's like, well, better check it.
Squish.
Ew.
Goopies, goopies, goopies. Goopies goes into the tubes. I love this movie so much.
Everyone watching this right now is like, why?
Yeah. And then it becomes silver somehow.
That's like a
which
crucible.
is heated into a liquid that is cooled into
This
a
is-
brick.
If you didn't know about metallurgy, this is actually a pretty decent lesson.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah. If you make metals out of,
If
out
you
of
milk metals out
souls,
of babies.
No, I'm saying like the melting of the liquid into crucible and then putting it into a
And then
sand
you
mold
put
in
it
order
into this
to
thing, and you mash it up into
Whee!
a powder.
glitter. See, Ridley Scott would like this part.
Yes.
Glitter.
Glitter.
And I think that's a great lesson. The metaphor is the universe is glitter. We are all glitter. We're all sparkly.
Yeah, it's true. And we're all made of baby guts also.
Exactly.
This is my second favorite movie that features babies being mashed into a fine paste. First being The Witch.
If I had a nickel for every time I watched a movie about a baby being smashed to jelly, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which isn't that
So,
many,
yeah.
but it's weird
It's
that
weird
it
that it's
happened
happened
twice.
Yeah, put that glitter into the light of the universe, baby.
And here's where you want your acid to peak.
Oh, I would never take drugs.
Oh my god, no.
This would put
Weed
you.
is the only thing.
This would put you in a very bad state if you watch this on any kind
Or it
of
would
drug.
change your life forever, and
Yeah.
you would find God in this movie.
See, I appreciate that the universe is made of glitter.
Yeah, man.
I'm just telling you.
Glitter and baby goods.
That's a nice detail
That's the
for
stuff.
me, is the glitter.
We are all stardust,
Stardust.
as the saying goes. Song, I guess.
As hippie women at the farmer's market like to say to everybody.
whoa, aliens exist.
Whoa!
Planets converge. This looks like
Whoa.
CGI.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it is. Did he used
This couldn't
visual effects?
possibly. I don't know.
Did he use any digital effects for the certain sequences?
I don't think he ever said that he didn't use any.
Okay. Because see
some of this
that's
stuff,
actually just like burning
well, yeah,
film,
that.
selling
But
like certain things.
But like the camera flying through space like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, Nolan for all the shots in Oppenheimer of like the sort of the molecules explode. He didn't use any visual effects for that.
He just
Or any
used.
stock footage.
He used stock. You know, he also
No,
they also created.
filmed.
They also created it.
Yeah, but I'm saying he didn't want to use stock footage.
Yes.
That was, everyone knows.
No,
the
but
stock
I'm not
footage.
just talking about the actual atomic
I know.
explosion. I'm talking about like
I
in
know.
those moments
You
where
said it.
Oppenheimer sees the molecules like in his mind while he's inventing things. That was all stuff that he sort of created. This looks like soap bubbles with like
This
highlighter
definitely,
on it
Yeah.
that they're just filming funny, you know?
Yeah, a lot of like really.
The most
amazing
interesting thing, but
editing.
I know Phil wouldn't want to give like I don't know if Phil would want to like talk about. I would love to see like a making up at least of like some of the
Yeah, for
the
real.
sequences, you know.
Just like, how the fuck did you do this?
All of these would make like awesome screensavers.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, that seems digital.
There's no way.
Yeah,
You could
that
do
seems digital.
that.
Or animation. I mean, it could be simple as animation.
Yeah.
With a composite on top.
Distress signal. Our universe just existed, but now we're in distress, and there's something flying.
I guess ale.
Cue the wing server.
And
Pterodactyls?
here's some. These are actors.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks like. With the anarchy symbol, yeah.
Anarchy in the UK.
We invented
Kablooey! Oops, destroyed the universe. Do you hate it when that happens? Look at this. Oh man, those
That's
like
good.
swirling clouds of like dust and shit, like that looked practical too, and that must have been a bitch.
It's a lot of that too, is how he films things and
Yeah.
how he uses like speed,
Editing,
frame
like
rates,
this,
and editing to.
This deserves an award for
I
fucking
can't
editing.
imagine
For editing.
what it was like to edit this.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how much he had to edit.
Right.
Like, but the wildness of having to put this together into some sort of
Yeah, I
cohesive
mean,
narrative. Like, ah.
Just the fact that it took 30 years, I'm sure. I mean, he probably had like, most of that time was spent building stuff, obviously, but like, I can imagine he might have had like twice as much footage as what we see. Just filmed shit. I love that, like, it comes back to
So like the prevailing noises in this movie are like
ticking clocks.
ticking,
clocks.
crying babies,
Crying baby.
things that like represent the passage of time, basically.
Yeah. I love that it like doesn't end on that like crazy epic sequence. It just ends with a fucking cuckoo clock. This, oh my god, so pretty. Whoa, and everything's fucking freezing over. Hell's freezing over. Interesting.
Sage is running down.
Winter's come.
The sand has run out of the hourglass. The clocks are all cycling back through like every disturbing image in this entire movie because we didn't get enough.
Yeah, I guess it's making me almost want to revisit.
I need to think about every disturbing image brought in this film.
Time's up.
It's over. What happened? And there you are. That is Mad God.
I guess it's sort of
A
like
tour de force of WTF.
sort of the entire history of our civilization and the universe in one film.
Yeah.
Ending.
History of the World Part 1.
So that was our pick for Drive-In Day.
For Drive-In Day. Probably my favorite episode.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, there's a coda.
The Lord of the Ring does.
Oh no, it's just that shot.
No, is it? Okay. Oh, see, they're doing it all over again. You see, he's showing you that.
Mm-hmm.
The sort of futility. They're sending another guy down the hole.
Yeah, exactly.
On another guy.
That's like I read somewhere that the ending of Taxi Driver, they specifically set it up as the ending of Taxi Driver could just like
Be the beginning of it.
go back to the beginning. Like it's just like one continuous loop. Which I thought was so interesting and cool. Because it is just like
This is a great drive-in episode just because Phil Tippet's there and
he's such a great
an
interview.
interesting person to talk to, you know.
I often think the most interesting last drive-in episodes, like this one and the one they did about Tetsuo,
And
are the ones that use like the more experimental filming techniques that you get to, you know, explore.
Yeah,
that's true. And this music here reminds me of this little Hans Zimmer vibes.
Oh yeah, it kind of does, yeah.
His reused piece of score from True Romance and other movies. Any final thoughts on Mad God? Is there a God? Is there a God?
He mad? Is he mad?
Is he grumpy?
Is he mad or is he mad?
I think my God's like, you know, in my opinion, I think God would be like pretty casual.
My God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above.
Oh my God.
My God is an awesome God. That's like the one gospel song that I actually
God is a mad God.
Also, like, we talked about how this movie is like hellish and stuff, but yet there's no like the standard depictions of hell. There's like burning
It's a very
flames
unique.
It feels like he intentionally stayed away from.
Because maybe he does
Hellfire and Brimstone.
Yeah, because maybe if you think
devil horns.
it almost is like he wants you to not have to just strictly interpret it in that way as like.
I think the most interesting portrayals in film of hell are stay away from those conventions. You know, like one of my favorites is I think it was VHS 99.
Oh, I love their depiction of hell.
Which it's just like a fucking desert that's just like pitch black dark.
The guy who did
Deadstream?
Deadstream. That's the same people who did Deadstream.
Husband and wife.
Yeah, because the girl's in it too.
No doggies or kitty cats were harmed in the making of this picture.
Yay.
Shot on location from 1987 to 2020. That's
Berkeley.
wild.
He was shooting that while I was living in Berkeley. Woo, eyeball! Because there haven't been enough eyeballs in this movie.
He's watching you.
Yes,
That's what he's trying to say. Yeah. I think what's funny is if you really read depictions of hell, like a lot of it's not fire and brimstone. A lot of it's weird ass crap. And then if you follow the Dante's Inferno, it's some weird shit in there.
Yeah, like Bosch, you know, Hieronymus Bosch and his, you know, everyone knows the Garden of Earthly Delights.
I think burning hell is like the brimstone stuff is very much like Christian fundamentalism.
It is,
like,
yeah.
And it's like that's the worst thing you can imagine is burning for all eternity. I don't know, man. There's some pretty creepy shit that can happen to you.
Have all the donuts in the world. Hum. More. I don't understand it. James Coco went mad in 15 minutes.
That's more Simpsons. I'm sorry.
It's alright. It's allowed. There's no ban on Simpsons.
Yeah. I don't know that I could give final thoughts on Mad God. What could you possibly say?
It's good to. It's probably good every 6 months or a year. So
no, man, I could watch
shuffle
this movie.
This out. That's you,
once
Derek.
A week,
I'm talking about other people. You know, take this out every.
I'm sure there's people like me that could watch this every fucking day.
Well, I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to people like me.
Well, I'm talking to those people.
I'm just saying you could pull this out like once a year and watch it and contemplate all the the sort of there's always something new to see. Like this is the third time
Oh,
I've seen
yeah.
it now, and I've definitely caught things that I didn't catch before, which is really cool.
You could probably watch this movie like 50 times and still see new things.
Mhm.
You know, like there's so much in it, which is one of the things I love about it.
And make sure to tweet us and.
Oh yeah, Joe Bob's Halloween is tonight.
It's tonight.
Oh Lord.
Friday night. Make sure to tweet us and what's the other thing? TikTok us.
Yeah, I've
TikTok
been taking over the TikTok and going crazy.
At VundaCast. I have been Steven.
I've been Dani.
And I have been D-Rock.
And remember, kids, always masturbate your minotaurs to completion. Because if not, that's just rude. Masturbating minotaurs, Batman.
Hail Vunda. Hail Vunda.
Wundercast? Give it
Yeah.
up for Wundercast, man. What an adorable name.
You're listening to the Vundacast.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. You're listening to Vundacast.
You can find it at Vundacast, and I know they love Effie.
Subscribe to the Vundacast.